Welcome to the SAPICS Virtual Conference 2020. It's my pleasure to be with you here today. I'm Abe Eshkenazi, currently the CEO for the Association of Supply Chain Management. Obviously, I would have preferred to meet you face-to-face at our conference earlier in the year, but times have forced us into a different reality, and we're all facing a different challenge today as the pandemic works its way around the globe. So it's a pleasure to be with you here today. Obviously, the information that we're sharing with you today is confidential, proprietary to ASCM. If you'd like any information or have any questions about specific information, please contact our organization and we can facilitate the information for you. It wasn't that long ago that we had to explain supply chain to our friends and our family. Very few individuals understood the complexity and the synchronization necessary to provide products and services to consumers and patients across the globe. Now, supply chain is a topic of conversation at every boardroom table and every kitchen table across the globe. Oftentimes, the boardroom table and the kitchen table are now the same for a lot of individuals that are locked down and are trying to address this current pandemic. Obviously, we've been at the forefront in trying to explain the benefits and also the challenges of supply chain. We've seen the benefits of just-in-time, but we've also seen the challenges of surges, as well as demand shifts in terms of the products and services that we provide. There have been stockouts and as well as shortages on food, as well as personal protection equipment that has really stressed the system. But more importantly, the system has responded. Supply chains are responding across the globe to the shortages, as well as to the needs that we have as a collective, consumers as well as patients. And this will be reflected not only in the current products and the commodities that we have, but as well as the vaccines and the distribution of the vaccines as we move forward. But our community is large, and more importantly, the supply chain professionals across the globe are trained and prepared to not only address the current challenges, but what we see in the future. We are a global community. Supply chain professionals across the globe look to ASCM to not only advance their careers, but to enable their organizations to successfully compete in today's landscape. Obviously, a lot has changed in terms of the way that we work and in the way that we consume information and the way that we access products and services. E-commerce, electronic transfers of data, digital transformation, transparency, visibility, these are all critical aspects of supply chain today. But more importantly, it is important to note that we are a global community, and the dependence on each other and on the relationships that we develop to effect an efficient and effective supply chain have not changed. It still depends on people. It still depends on competent individuals exercising and making the necessary decisions on what should be produced, where it should be produced, how it should be delivered, and how it should be supported. Supply chain professionals across the globe every day are putting themselves on the line to ensure that our patients and our consumers across the globe have the necessary products and services they need, not only to successfully compete, but to live their lives in the manner that they would like to. Our partners across the globe are critical to the way that we disseminate and the way that we connect with organizations and individuals across the globe. You'll see that we have a variety of different types of partners across the globe, from training partners to consulting to academic. Our focus is on providing different access points to individuals in the way that they would like it. Obviously, we've seen significant change in the way that individuals consume content. Schools are challenged today to provide in-service or in-person training. Similarly, a lot of our chapters have also had challenges, and our partners have had challenges providing content for our members and for their companies in today's environment. Obviously, our focus is on providing the necessary relationships and the partners so that we can address the needs of the individuals across the globe. But we have changed in the way that we work, and I'm sure that you've changed in the way that you consume and access information. One of the ways that we've done so is with the development of our Supply Chain Learning Center. This provides access and content to micro-learning opportunities, as well as interaction with experts and subject matter content experts across the globe. The Supply Chain Learning Center is housed inside our Connect virtual community, and it provides a whole host of free public and content areas for individual members as well as non-members. These are short videos that will enable individuals to get relevant information on timely topics that we've seen across the various content areas for individuals as well as for organizations. It includes our Supply Chain Now magazine, as well as other learning assets that will provide topics of interest to you and your community. We've segmented the categories into a number of different areas that are focused on the special topics for individuals that include career resources, demand planning, as well as opportunities for different credentials, as well as micro-credentials. This provides an easy access to the content that we have as an organization and provides opportunities for individuals to gain knowledge that they need for their jobs and, more importantly, to provide content for their organizations. We're also pleased that we've designed our new website that will make it easier for individuals and organizations to access the resources and the tools that they need. Obviously, our focus is on the individual and the responsibilities that they have to affect supply chains across the globe. But more importantly, we're also working with organizations to ensure that they have the appropriate plans and resources necessary to affect their end-to-end global supply chain and lead in today's marketplace. Obviously, talent development and performance are key aspects of sustainability for organizations. And we want to work with organizations not only to ensure their economic sustainability, but as well as their environmental and their ethical sustainability as well. Our focus is on providing organizations and individuals the necessary information they need, not only to transform themselves, but to lead into the future. One of the ways that we do so is by identifying opportunities for career development. This is a significant part of who we are and what we do as an organization. For a number of years, we were focused on that early career individual, those individuals that had either baccalaureate or master's degree or certification in our content and wanted to drive their careers into leadership opportunities. This has always been the focus for our organization, is to develop that supply chain leader. With the pandemic, we saw a different opportunity, and that is opportunities for jobs and reskilling individuals so that they can have opportunities that they have been lost, whether they've been in retail or food service. These individuals have lost their jobs. There are significant opportunities in logistics, warehousing, distribution, where these individuals can get back on a job track. And more importantly, they can feel like they are contributing not only to their, personal performance, as well as, deriving an income, but more importantly, they're back in the economy and they're back in contributing to the economic development of their community. So this is a significant opportunity for us. There's an opportunity for career transition for a number of individuals that are looking to enhance their careers and become supply chain leaders or experts, as well as to get into the supply chain in an entry level for these individuals. Obviously, there's a whole host of opportunities that we have for these individuals. When we're talking about opportunities, it's important to note that our core products and services are the certifications that we have as an organization. To identify specifically three of them, our CPIM, CSCP, and CLTD certifications have a focus for individuals depending on where they are in their career, as well as where they are in their focus areas on their functional area of expertise. So most of the individuals that are starting out within supply chain tend to focus on CPIM. This is a deep content area that provides functional expertise for individuals in a variety of different areas within the organization. For those individuals that are looking to advance their career and to become more leadership focused and to have cross-functional responsibilities, they focus on CSCP, or a Certified Supply Chain Professional. This provides individuals opportunities to leverage their knowledge across the entire enterprise, as well as outside the enterprise, and working with vendors and working with customers. This provides a holistic view of the entirety of the supply chain and is really meant for individuals that are on a career track for leadership opportunities in their organization. Our latest certification is CLTD, and that's in logistics, transportation, and distribution. This has taken on additional significance, obviously, as the pandemic has raged through the various parts of the globe. We've seen significant opportunities for logistics, warehousing, and distribution today, not only for entry level, but as well as for senior leadership in those organizations. Obviously, organizations are developing more relationships with their customers, which will require them to develop greater logistics, transportation, and distribution strategies and how to support their organization. It's important to note that these certifications are available online. They're available, at your pace, and you can access this content anywhere, anytime, on any device. So it's important that individuals realize that there are a number of different opportunities that they can take to establish their career, and more importantly, to get designations that will differentiate them in the marketplace, make them more marketable, and obviously make them much more attractive and to the employers. There are a couple of endorsement programs that we have as well. Obviously, the SCORE P, SCORE Professional Program. This is a focus on the organization and the hierarchy necessary that links all the supply chain processes together. This is at the highest level for the organization, and it generally focuses on a particular project that the individual has to perform to demonstrate their knowledge and their competency and their capabilities. We also are working with a number of different organizations, and one of them specifically is the Demand Driven Institute and their DDMRP credentials. As you'll see here, we want to not only develop relationships with what we believe are best in class content areas, but we also want to ensure that we provide that content available to our members, whether it was developed within ASCM or not. And so this is a great example of us identifying what we believe is leading content in the marketplace and providing it for our members and the customers and their organizations. Question about the benefits for certification. Obviously, for organizations, it creates a standard for their organization and for their employees. If you ask any organization what they believe their number one asset is, I believe most of them will tell you what their employees are. So this provides an opportunity not only to boost productivity and their sustainability as an organization, but it also embeds their employees with the confidence that their company cares about them and cares about their careers and will continue to invest in their professional development. For the individual, obviously, it's a designation that indicates their mastery of content and of processes. You contribute to an organizational success, and you're rewarded not only with greater recognition in an organization, but obviously greater pay for the contributions that you make to your company. Our certified individuals are resident within organizations at every level in the organization, and you'll see that a number of organizations do designate certifications as either a requirement or as a critical aspect of their individual development and job promotion opportunities for their organization. So we've seen significant benefits. I'll get into some of the benefits on salaries in the end, but this is a significant opportunities for individuals and organizations alike to really differentiate themselves in the marketplace. I'm also pleased that to announce that we're introducing 2 new products into the marketplace. We identified a number of different content areas for the organization as part of our focus to be end-to-end. And there were 2 areas that we recognized that did have a gap in our content areas. The first was procurement and the second was warehousing. So I'm pleased to announce that we are addressing the needs for procurement with a micro-credential that specializes in the area of procurement and sourcing. The target audience are not only entry-level, but procurement managers, as well as buyers, as well as strategic sourcing managers. What we hope to do is provide an entree into procurement and sourcing for individuals that may not have seen this as an opportunity or are looking to shift their careers. So this provides content in a number of different areas for those individuals, and we believe it'll provide an opportunity for individuals to enter into the workforce that they may not have seen in the past. The content areas include 20 hours of educational focus areas on fundamentals, as well as order management, performance, contracting, sustainability, and evaluation metrics. As I indicated before, this will be a digital badge, which can be shared on a variety of different social platforms, but it also designates the individual as having mastered that content area for the procurement certification. Finally, it does leverage our digital instruction platform, as I indicated before. Anytime, anywhere, on any device, you'll be able to access this content. When we developed and when we started to see the need for the warehousing certification product, we saw that there was an opportunity to repurpose a number of the content areas that we had. Obviously, in the CLTD, we had a significant amount of content area, but we also wanted to leverage the LMS system that we're using for the bench prep, as well as the e-commerce and e-procurement and the procurement certification. So we've developed an additional 10 hours of content to identify those topic areas and learning modalities, as well as a certification exam that will enable these individuals to designate themselves as a badge holder, certification, or a certified individual. We're pleased to announce that we entered into a relationship with the National Retail Federation Foundation to provide this content for their employees that have been displaced. Obviously, when we're taking a look at retail, this has been an industry that has been devastated by the lockdown as well as by the pandemic. Organizations such as Best Buy, Walmart, Target have seen significant number of their employees displaced because of the pandemic. Obviously, this provides an opportunity for us to create a job opportunity for individuals to get back into the workforce. So working with the National Retail Federation and their Rise Up program, we've provided them the additional content that includes case studies, videos, as well as learning management system. So we're going to deliver it through the NRF system, as well as a digital badge that completes this individual's mastery of the content for their warehousing, as well as distribution and logistics. We're pretty excited about these new content areas. If you'd like a little bit more information, obviously go onto the website and you can get quite a bit more information on it. We're also pleased with the efforts that we've taken to expand our relationships with third-party organizations. I shared with you before about DDI and the work that we're doing with sister organizations. We're pleased with the work that we've been able to undertake with The Economist, as well as a number of other organizations. You'll see here that we opened up a podcast with Supply Chain Management Review, arguably one of the most referenced media publications for supply chain in the marketplace, as well as relationships with GreenBiz on sustainability and The Economist on two specific content areas that we believe are critical to organizations today and in the future. Let's get into that. We published the supply chain resilience for organizations back in September, and we focused on two specific areas. First is the ability for organizations to respond to the challenges, and that means their resilience. How resilient are they as an organization? And then secondly, how sustainable are they as an organization? More strategically, are they prepared for the future? And so we separated the research into those two specific areas. The first is a benchmarking framework that identifies an opportunity for an organization to respond and bounce back from a disruption in their supply chain, whether it be minor or whether it be major. And so this is real-time supply chain resiliency, and there are a number of indicators that we've identified that are critical for organizations to demonstrate their capability and their responsiveness to challenges. On the backside of this, obviously, is developing a strategic supply chain that responds irrespective of the type of disruption in the marketplace. Much more long-term focused, much more focused on not only economic, but as well as ethical and environmental sustainability standards for their organization. So we believe that there are a number of opportunities for us to develop and work with other organizations to develop content areas that will enable individuals as organizations to not only benchmark their performance, but to be able to respond and be resilient in times of turmoil, specifically in times like these. Finally, I also want to focus on our ability to make an impact through supply chain. We believe that we can develop a better world through supply chain, and more importantly, we've undertaken a number of different initiatives that demonstrate that. The most important of which, to me, is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation grant that leverages our best practices in Africa to focus on essential medicine, vaccine, and family planning products in a number of different markets in Africa. This is truly a demonstration of the content that we provide for organizations put to the test. Can we prove that what we teach can make a difference in people's lives? We're pleased to announce that not only have we been successful in this endeavor, but that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has renewed our grant during 2020 for another cycle, so that they recognize that we are providing the necessary support for the ministries of health, as well as clinics and supply chain professionals and the medical teams alike. We're very proud of the work that we do, and more importantly, the individuals who have primary responsibility for this. What I'm sharing with you now is our in-country team led by Glenda Maitland for the supply chain and the global health initiatives. We couldn't be more excited with her team and the efforts that they've undertaken. I also want to point out that if it wasn't for their contribution and their efforts, I don't believe we would have been successful in any of the endeavors that we've taken. We are truly indebted to not only them, but their commitment and their passion for the work that they're doing. Some of the other areas that we've developed relationships with and through the foundation, you'll see that I indicated before our work with the National Retail Federation, as well as reskilling in our own backyard in Illinois and in Chicago, a number of different opportunities to pilot displaced content areas for workers, not only to get them into a supply chain job, but get them into careers. Additionally, we're working with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and this last initiative, which really does strike at the heart of what we do as an organization, and that's the PEPFAR. This is an education pilot for women and girls in Kenya and in Africa, as well as South Africa, to be the next generation of supply chain. We couldn't be more excited about this initiative and the work that we're doing to enable individuals to see that there are opportunities for women and girls in supply chain, and our efforts through the Global Health Initiative, as well as our team in Africa, really position us well for success in this marketplace. Couldn't be more excited about the opportunities that we have right now to make a difference with our supply chain team in Africa, and specifically in the Dreams Initiative. So stay tuned in this, and if you'd like to be a part of it, please reach out to us and we can find ways to enable not only your contribution, but to address the significant need that we have for content and for supply chain professionals in the Africa region. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you why it's a great opportunity for you today to establish a career during this time period. First, supply chain professionals are essential to everything that we do, especially in a recession. Supply chain professionals will get us out of this economic recession, while healthcare workers will get us out of the pandemic and the health crisis that we're in. It will be supply chain professionals that will get us out of this economic recession. And they already have established themselves as critical to their organizations. And I couldn't be more proud of the work that supply chain professionals have done, not only to respond to the beginning of the recession and this disruption, but more importantly, to the work that we've done to establish supply chain as a critical aspect for our economy. Further, salaries are significant for individuals in supply chain. An individual with a baccalaureate degree and 5 years experience is almost $80,000 in terms of salary. This obviously is in the US. This is 24% higher than the national median. Additionally, those that have developed their careers within supply chain see that they are receiving annual increases of over 4%, which is higher than the national average of 3.5%. More importantly, they're receiving significant raises and recognition, bonuses, profit sharing. Why? Because they're making their organization successful. It is for no other reason that they are performing the work to enable their organizations to succeed, and that's why they're getting rewarded for their contributions to their organization. I'm also pleased that we've closed the gender gap a little bit. For the second year in a row, our respondents under 30 reported the same median salary irrespective of their gender. So women through 30 or 39, are reporting slightly lower salaries than what men earned at 93%. Although not acceptable, it is starting to equal out. We are significantly focused on ensuring that individuals get parity in pay, irrespective of their gender or irrespective of their race. So we'd like to see quite a bit more, not only in the gender gap, but also for diversity and inclusion within supply chain. Additionally, individuals that are in supply chain are achieving significant benefits for their organization. And as I indicated before, certification does pay off. Those who reported in our last survey reported that they had a 21% higher median salary than those without a certification. And those with at least one APICS certification reported 18% higher than those with other certifications. So certifications do pay. Organizations recognize the contributions that individuals make with these certifications, and they're willing to pay for these individuals. Finally, it does involve technical and leadership skills. Individuals that are focused on communication, collaboration, and coordination among their peers are seeing significantly greater opportunities in their career. Subject matter expertise used to be enough. Now it's the price of entry. What organizations are looking for are supply chain leaders, those individuals that can work across cultures, across time zones, and across different organizations and industries. Those are the ones that are leading organizations today and are being the future leaders for their organizations. And then finally, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that 88% of the individuals in supply chain have a positive outlook on their career, and 85% would recommend supply chain as a career path to others. This is important. Why? Because the way that individuals find opportunities in supply chains is generally through word of mouth. So it's incumbent upon all of us to explain not only the opportunities within supply chain, but the wonderful impact that you make as a supply chain leader. Supply chains do have the possibility to change the world. And more importantly, we believe that we can develop a better world through supply chain. Thank you very much. I look forward to continuing this journey with you. All the best to you. Be safe, be healthy. Thanks again.